where I get my gold nail particles. But first, we're going to get some smoke on. I got some high I found. More high cultivar I found. I got them in these turkey bags. I left a little bit in the bags before I jarred them. Luckily, I was smart enough to stash them away and forgot about them. But I've been fine. I found them and I've been puffing on them, you know. It's not maybe like the best of the buds. Definitely not the best of the buds. Just tiny little bits and pieces and some of the shake and stuff like that. But it's good enough. And I found one bag with three nice top colas on them bad boys. So those will be good. Get to save those. Alright, let's get this packed. As you see here, I'm on the website, purescolloids.com. And, you know, they got the silver, they got the gold nail particles, copper nail particles, platinum, zinc, palladium. They got combination packs, mesoiridium, mesosilica. Now, the mesosilica is another one I want to try. This is like food grade silica. You know, you could eat it. After look out, if all silica is okay to smoke, do a little research into that. But as far as I'm seeing, man, I think that might be a good source of like silica. That would be like absolutely insane. It would be a nanoparticle silica. Probably, definitely might even be too much for your plant. I don't know, because you're going for like a. What they do is they make the colloid small enough so that it passes through the cell wall. But we'll get to the gold up here. Zinc is an interesting one. Just for like whole thing. Now this is made for humans to consume. As far as the miso silver being used for seed making, I've never tried theirs for seed making. Would be interesting to see how much better it would be, because again, this is not a colloid. This is a nanoparticle. But I'm assuming it would act the same with the gold, the silver rather. Silver causes something with the copper that makes it flower or something weird like that. I looked it up. Something weird like that. It causes it to flower. The gold though does not cause it to flower. Let's just click the gold. Let's get right into this. So as you see here, you know, the smaller size ball right there. Now I personally, I go for the gallon right there. And what I like to do is I get the gallon jug, and what I do is I would spray my plants with it, and I would feed my plants with it. Now you don't give them a lot of this stuff. Just a light spraying, maybe twice a year. Now I saw something said 65% off, but I don't see the sale affecting this price, which is weird how I'm seeing that. But it might have been an error I saw. Something. All right, so let me take this hit. I'll start reading this for you. Now, you know, the miso gold, you'll notice is the actual red color. And let me move this over here so you guys can see a little better. Oh, yeah. Now, this stuff can treat so much different plant diseases I found. This will treat rot. if you got a, I once, one year, I think it was years ago, I had a plant that I put outside. Somehow it like snapped or bent, and then it was like I don't know what happened. The weather got to it. Something happened where it bent, turned black, and it just died. And I'm like, what the hell is that? I was like, damn, I really wanted this plant. So what I did was, when I planted it, I went and sprayed the whole freaking thing, soaked the thing in it, um, sprayed right where it was black, all that, and that plant grew into a monster plant. The black turned like normal plant color, and the plant grew. It grew into a huge stump where it was cut, like around no rot at all. The whole plant was perfect, and that's why I knew. I was like, crap, that's right. So this has the ability as a plant. It can treat plant disease, much like the silver can. But the thing with the gold was that the gold doesn't cause it to herm, doesn't cause any herming like the silver. So it could actually be used. You could use silver for the same thing, but it would absolutely like devastate your good bacteria in the soil. It would like really screw it up. The gold can do the same. So that's why I don't really like to feed my plants that too much because I want the soil to be killed. As far as other pathogens, um, it works great on. Plus, the gold doesn't really kill the bacteria and stuff as much as the silver does in ways it does. We'll have to research that later. So, Misa Gold is an all natural mineral supplement manufactured by Pariah. Let me turn this volume down on this. Yep, it's a proprietary process that starts with 9999 pure gold and produces very small gold particles, which are just several times the diameter of a gold atom themselves. So these things are really tiny. The particles remain suspended in water. Our product is true colloid because the gold content is contained entirely in the particles. There are no gold ions in Miso Gold. So that's a thing too important to say that no gold ions here. Uh, uh, so you can research on why that's different than the Miso Gold particles. They might get into it, but basically, we're talking about when things get into the size of a nanometer. Uh, we're talking they can behave totally different than what you would normally have with like a physical piece of gold. Um, Even with the colloids, just the size, like it can pass through cell walls and stuff. So the way it behaves within organisms is completely different than what a colloid would do. And so many products claim to be colloidal gold are actually ionic gold, which is not the same ionic gold uh, solution. The gold content contained in gold ions, not in gold particles. Okay, so you got gold ions, not the particles of gold. Big difference, I guess. Ionic gold is neurotoxic, meaning it is toxic to nerve cells. Ionic gold is easy to visually identify because it's clear liquid that looks like water. If it's not ruby red, it's not the highest quality colloidal gold. See, the ionic gold is bad. That stuff will. I'm glad they put that in here. It's neurotoxic, so you don't want the ionic gold. You want the colloidal. But you see what they're doing here? Like a lot of people are selling you stuff, and it's not the right stuff. Now, monoatomic gold powder, I've never tried that. But again, obviously, you want to get the stuff that people ingest. Don't make it yourself or try to get it somewhere else or try to get it from a lab. This stuff is food grade for people to have and consume. So what are we talking about here? We're just talking about you're either wasting your money or like it'll do something. You know what I mean? So we're not talking about it actually harming you or anything like that. Now you do probably want to make sure that you're not allergic to gold or anything like that. Um, but again, most people allergic to gold aren't really allergic to the gold. You're allergic to all the crap metals that they put in the gold. You know what I mean? Whereas this is actually the particle, but still, I am sensitive to this stuff if I drink it. I will advise people maybe not to drink it. You know what I mean? I mean, I do consume it, and I must say, it is like a secret to the third eye and seeing very, 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 very crystal clear on that shit. But the thing is, though, I don't know. It kind of screws me up. You know what I mean? Like, but whatever. It doesn't last for that long. It might last for like okay, so like I don't know when I do it, it usually screws me up for a good like 6 months or something like that. I am like kind of allergic to gold, so it's probably not smart. But um, first time I ever drank this stuff was what was it? I believe it was like 2005. I still have the old bottle of it. I can look and see. So it was like 2005, and the whole story behind that. Oh, why'd you start drinking gold and stuff? Well, I was a Republican back then. You know, I graduated college when IT 2001 9/11 happened. Everything was fucked. So getting a job was a bitch back then, just because of the economy and all that would happen. Whatever. So I like George Bush back then. I can see he's a Democrat now and see through everything now and all the shit that we were doing. But back then, I was like, oh, hurrah, hurrah, you know? So, whatever. I would like research shit about him. And one thing I found out was they're saying he liked to consume gold particles. They're saying he liked to consume the gold. So, and he would consume monoatomic gold, I was told. So, I was like, monoatomic gold, huh? And people were making up all these crazy things and saying shit. So I was like, I wonder what the fuck's up with this. So I start looking it up. I'm like, monoatomic gold. Then I'm like, I found it, but I didn't find anything reliable back then. But I saw this company. I was like, whoa, what the fuck? So then I was like, mesogold. I was like, okay, so it's gold. It's safe. It's like monoatomic, but that's a powder. This is like a particle. So I was like, what the hell? So I got a bottle of it, and I drank the bottle. And now you're supposed to take small amounts at a time. Uh, but I drank the whole bottle. It took me a while, I guess. And yeah, I would say I don't know. Did that contribute to me being able to see the third eye so well? Maybe, maybe to help my meditation. Now you'll read in the testimonials on this people saying about how it improves their meditation and reaction time, thinking time, improves intelligence. This is supposed to increase your intelligence and shit. It like what else does it do? Agility, all the shit that I was saying that my weed does. I noticed that people are saying this stuff does. I'm like, ah, shit. So I start thinking, damn, is it because I was spraying my plants with this, and I'm getting some residual effect from it? But then again, like I said in a previous video, I do not spray my plants when they're in the flower state. They never get this stuff in the flower state. So I always make sure I do it in veg. And I don't do it. I mean, you can feed a seedling in a lot of this. Like, here's why I've done this too. Like, you can cut a plant and you can stick it in this stuff. And it's so great because it won't rot. It won't make it will never mold. This stuff is like anti fungal. You know what I mean? So I think this stuff can be used for in a tissue culture solution to help maintain the solution so it doesn't go bad. It won't spoil. You know what I mean? You won't have to change the solution. You won't have to worry about the stick inside of it rotting or anything. And man, I kept it in there for so long. And then you look up the what gold does for plants. It can like do something with the photosynthesis, increase it or something like that. You can spray them. So it was like a way I was keeping like cuttings alive for a long time. But then I noticed like too much might have been too much. I don't know, because you can look up how like there's like toxicity with this in plants with gold, and like you don't want too much gold. You just want just the right amount of gold, which is why I just do a little bit, and I do it as like a just an experiment type of thing. I just had it. I took it myself. I had a gallon of it. I was like hopeless in what I should do with that plant. I tried that on it because I didn't want to put silver on it because I didn't want to harm like later on because of the particles or whatever. You know, I don't know. So it worked. And then I noticed, read up and studied on it, and I was like, wow, okay, there's something to gold with the plants and the nanoparticles. And like I said, this stuff is small enough. So here we go. High purity content gold, we know that. 4 times, okay. Smallest gold nanoparticles whose diameter typically measures 3.2 nm. That is insanely small. That is tiny enough to enter the cell wall. It can go right into your cells, which is what so key with this. You can actually spray your leaves with it of the plant, and it like boosts its growth. It's pretty cool. But then again, I don't want to lead anyone into something and they buy it and they say it did nothing and I spent all this money. Like this is a waste of money. I'm telling you not to do it. I do it every year. I can't wait to buy it and spray my plants more with it. Do it at your own risk of wasting your money. Um, you know what I mean? I'm just showing you what I use because there's some people that are really interested in what I do with this stuff. So, because I know I've talked a little bit about it. I've only decided to put my shit up on peer review. I'll consider this peer review, and people can tear this apart. They can tear this video apart. They can figure out if this is stupid or if it's actually something going on here. Like it's hard for me to be honest and kind of worry about like because I know people don't have a lot of money to spend on it. That's kind of a lot of money to spend on something. You know what I mean? Just to like find out if it works or not. I'm gonna break up some bee cannabis right now. Bee zone. This is a offspring of the my genetics times the Twisted Roots genetics that got all mixed up and continues to just breed itself. Now I do have some of these growing out there. Hopefully I got a male and female. I'll see if I can cross those somewhere. I hate to kill them all, but I got a lot of plants I gotta kill this year or give away. I must say most of them are probably gonna be male, so I hate to give them away because man, give someone plants they end up being a male. That sucks. There's too there's like $15 a pop on these tests. It's kind of a lot for me. I don't know. I don't want to waste money. I'd rather spend money on something else. I'm frugal, you know what I mean? Uh, I don't know. It just seems like a waste when I could buy like a dab rig with that money. You know what I mean? And if I can only grow a certain amount anyway, I can't just fucking fuck these plants. You know what I mean? So whatever. It is what it is. But hopefully I can keep some like as tissue cultured clones, so we'll see what we can do with that. I can always reseed it too if I ever need, but we'll see how we can keep these plants going. So I got a bean out of the bee. I don't want to forget which bean it is, so I'm putting it next to it. You know what? I'm putting it back in. Never fucking leave beans around. When you get a bean, put it back in the bag. How many times did I lift a bean out or beans out and then like totally forget which bag it was in? Oh man, it sucks when it happens. I vowed never to have that happen again, and it keeps happening. Sucks. At some point, I'm just gonna have to say like rando seeds, mystery beans. You know what I mean? Just give them out. All right, so we were back to the show here. We got the highest purity regarded as grade deionized water. So they're using a deionized water that's really well done. Like that's why I'm saying it's probably best to get it from them instead of trying to make it. I did see a machine that made it. I was gonna get it, but now I'm just like, okay, after reading this again, now I know why I don't buy it because it can be toxic if it's done the wrong way. I mean, might as well just go get it from these guys. This is not a paid sponsorship. Okay, 20 ppm, the parts per million of gold particles, does not contain gold ions. All right, highest purical surface area of any gold colloid, colloidal gold product available, whatever. So there you go. Um, the surface area of the gold when you now you're going to study how when you look all this up with golden plants, how like surface area of the particle within the cell is important. It'll work better. You know what I mean? That's why the particle size is a specific measurement in the way they do it. So it's suspended in water. We read that. Okay, so it's a billionth of a millimeter of a meter. Billionth of a meter. That's kind of small. Particles are small, so small they can only be seen by the most powerful electron microscopes available today. So you'll need an electron microscope to see these things. An atom of gold is about 0.288 nanometers in diameter. So the gold nanoparticles in mesogold are only about 11 times the diameter of a single gold atom. Okay, so the atom of gold is that, and these things are about 11 times the diameter of a single gold atom. All right, they sustain they yeah they are suspended in this deionized water. It makes it a true colloid. Ionic gold is what St. Cruz called nano colloidal gold supplement. Ionic gold is a gold salt that is dissolved in water. Products labeled as ionic gold are really gold chloride, also called chloridic acid, a water soluble gold salt. The reason you'll see gold chloride on the label or mentioned in the ads is that the gold chloride is known to be potentially toxic to humans. Gold chloride has been known to cause um, that neuropathy. See that, man? For details about truth about gold line. See, that's what I'm saying. You gotta get it from something that's trustworthy. So that's why when I was talking about, I was like, shit. People might actually try to like cheap out or something and buy something that's like not safe just because it's cheaper. But like, don't cheap out because if you read down over here, it says that miso go is manufactured in an FDA registered facility contains only pure water. So the FDA has registered a facility for them to produce this for people in pure gold nanometer and particle size. And like that. Again, you consult a doctor. Don't drink this stuff. I don't know what side effects with your medicines they'll have or anything they'll friggin' do. We're talking about the plant. We're treating plants and stuff like that with disease and different things like that. I'd love to like get a little bit of this to fucking Twisted Roots if he has that friggin' if that blight art came back, man, I would love to try spraying this on it to see what would happen. Or like just feed it to the roots, and then the gold would bond to the roots inside the root structure, and then that would prevent the virus from getting even through there, or something like that. It would kind of like but you have to look up what this stuff will do to bacteria and stuff. I don't know if it'll have any harmful effects on the bacteria because you'll do like the good bacteria, but from what I've seen, it's not like the crazy bacteria killer that colloidal silver is. that stuff is like crazy. Okay, allergic reactions to gold, while not unheard of, are uncommon. Someone having an allergic reaction to gold would not be able to handle a metallic gold object such as gold jewelry without causing an allergic reaction. Those who are uncertain if they are allergic to gold should apply a few drops to the back of their hand to see if an allergic reaction results. If you don't see a reaction within 30 minutes, you can be fairly certain that you are not allergic. Now, I would say consult your doctor before any of this. Because again, I don't think I would have a reaction to it, but dude, shit, that shit, I could tell that shit passed through my brain barrier, man. This shit went, this shit went AWOL into my entire freaking system. That was pretty freaking crazy, man. Um, if I can just describe what it did, just so people know, like, I would say this is why I say not to do it. I like, what did it do to me? It made it so that when I smoked, I was like high wicked quick. Like weed was too potent for me. Like it made marijuana too fucking potent. I couldn't smoke weed. And what else happened? Uh, yeah, it does stuff like that, man. It made it so things were extra strong for me. And there was a supplement that I used to like taking, and it had like amino acids and different things like that. That was like too strong for me. So it was like I don't know. It was weird. It did weird shit, and it lasted like a long time, and it wore off. And then like obviously I'm smoking like a hog now. So I'd watch out with like actual like drinking it because I don't know what the fuck this shit does, man. It's crazy. But smoking it now, um, I don't think it has anything. I don't think it's doing anything because the particles, let's say the gold particles made it into the buds somehow. It like kept moving particles around itself, which wouldn't be possible because they're locked in the cells anyway. And when the leaves die, the plant particles die, and they get trapped into the cells. And when it's burned, it's trapped in the ash. And like eucalyptus plants absorb gold particles. They absorb the gold particles, right? So let me just take a hit of this. So they absorb the gold particles. And then people found out that they could burn the plant leaves, and it takes a chemical process just to remove the leaves out of there. A pretty intense chemical process to do. So that's what's going on here. You got pretty crazy chemical process, and you'd never get it out of the ash. So you get, I don't know, is it possible to get some of the ash inside of you? But then what would it do? I don't know. You cough the ash out. So I don't know. I uh, I don't think it's doing anything at all. Kind of like how like people eat gold leaf and they just crap it out. You know what I mean? But you know, when you're actually drinking it and you're putting it into your own cells, like this is something where it gets locked in already, but you're locking it into your body. Keep that in mind. Now your cells do replace themselves, but like I said, that's probably why it took like 6 months, right, for your cells to all replace. So that's probably why it felt normal after 6 months. But I advise against it. You know what I mean? I advise against taking this stuff. But I like it for my plants, and I'm gonna buy another gallon. I'm gonna waste 200 and something bucks to buy it because I don't know. I'm crazy. Okay, musical brand results in thousands of hours of research. Blah blah blah. They're kind of repeating themselves. Was popular advertised as being cloud gold are producers using electrolysis process that produces gold particles that are typically 70s to 120 nanometers. Wow, see that? See how big that is? 70 or 120 nanometers? Dude, that's crazy. These ones over here, let's see what they said. So I get the right number. The nanometer, 3.2 nanometers. Theirs is 3.2. The other one's is 70 to 120. Wow. They're very large compared to mesogold nanoparticles. These small particles produce a much higher surface area than other brands. It's particle surface area that determines its effectiveness of a colloid. Okay. They're saying the same thing again. They say take it in the morning, all this bullshit. I don't know if I would take it, but 20 ppm. Now there was testimonials. Let's see if we can look here. Okay, mental focus, energy, hand-eye coordination. Dang. Take a sip of this water. Man. Oh, that's so crazy, dude. That's exactly what I was saying that my weed does. So that it would be a shame if maybe it was the gold I was spraying on the plants this entire time. But still, the strain is really good. You know what I mean? Those attributes, I wonder if it could be applied to all cannabis. This like be the cure to like some type of like brain problem too. I don't know. Someone that was in need of mental focus, hand-eye coordination, energy. So an airline pilot that flies, he decided to try Musil Gold when he went back to work. Boeing 787. Keep in mind until flying shut down for COVID-19. Went almost a year without flying. Blah 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 blah. Cockpit. I started using Musil Gold at home while studying S77s and preload flows. This is required before showing up for ground school. Okay, so this guy was had to learn shit. Well, um, okay. The energy, mental focus, hand-eye coordination was great. When I showed up for 787 school, I was extremely well prepared and well ahead of the game and the schedule. This made the training easier and more enjoyable. I use Miso Gold every day, every night. Upped his game. Highly recommends Miso Gold. Here's how it changes person's life. Bill's a consultant, 20 years. Take this product in November. In my opinion, the colloid guard represents critical necessity in nutrient and extraordinary mind formula that produces incredible results. I now consider this supplement a actual necessity for my highest functioning, as well as the critical element in the increased success of my business. Now I have noticed that dude, so last time I took this was what? A few years ago, 2020. I think I got the new ball because it ran out. So 2020 I took it and kind of screwed me up for a bit. But I don't know. I wouldn't take it all the time. You know what I mean? But I've noticed it really upped my intellect. It was like lasting. Like I wouldn't think I would need to keep doing it. I don't know. So sharper mind, better memory recall. Damn. Because I've noticed it. No, there is a terpene for memory. You can look this up. I figured that that's the terpene that was in this. There's a memory terp for cannabis where it helps people remember. Okay. particularly on teaching and learning, more successful, blah, blah, blah. You guys can read this as I go. I'm just going to go through, see if I see anything. Okay, probably the most dramatic place I noticed the effects the claw is in my business. Alright, well, this guy's just saying the same thing. He just bought 25 gallon. Oh, jeez. That guy's taking credit. Okay, creativity. Since taking musical gold, I've noticed dramatic transformation in my writing. Writing is very important in my law school. Top tier into this, blah, 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 blah. I feel like the floodgates have opened. Wow. Jeez. See what I mean? I don't know. I was contributing this to my weed. Energy and well being. The effect of musical gold and mood. Expected results are different. I'm fairly driven and intense. Personal A. Recommended. I had exam, constitutional law exam. One me. Okay, this person thinks they blow the test. I don't know. That's a weird one. He's talking about like failing a test. I think he just wanted an emotional support blanket. I am a neuropathic doctor. Blah 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 blah. I felt great. My mind was sharp, clear, physical. Felt wonderful. Really good mood. It felt so good. I went to dinner with friends. Wait, what did he say about crapping? Pretty surprised that I've been up all night driving South Carolina, and because before taking these goes, I was being that pooped out. Okay, never mind. I was like, what the fuck am I seeing that word? Going back to New Jersey, shot again. That guy's taking it to stay awake. Pacemaker, hip replacement. So this guy's got a pacemaker. Alright, I would recommend that if I was taking a pacemaker. So this guy says overall good feeling. Keep him relaxed at his job, this guy's saying. Stays calm, gives me energy. It's like taking vitamins. See, I don't know. For me, it was like everything became more strong. Like everything was more potent when I took it. I didn't like it at all because it made it so I couldn't smoke. It was like weed was too potent for me to smoke. I couldn't explain it. I like did something to the high where it made it like not good. Like maybe because it makes your brain work a certain way. I don't know. It could also be why some people might not like weed. I don't know. Certain people's brains are operating differently. Maybe they're experiencing a different high. You know what I mean? So I can say with the weed and smoking plants with it on it, man, absolutely phenomenal. So I don't notice any negative effects really from that. Happiness, animated, energized. My intensity and speed were such that people around me were beginning to notice and to look over at what I was going on. I actually have outlined my thoughts. Okay, so this guy's saying they were fucking wow, that's pretty good. Hand-eye coordination. Am I rolling roller dancing? Roller dancing is a sport that involves an enormous amount of what is that? Concentration on every skating step. Okay, sorry, my screen's cracked. It's a little difficult to read sometimes. Each step of the position with my partner in a world class level seems to flash with a split second. Wow. So this person has very high, I think, no longer anxious, it says. Um, Racquetball player. Okay, I started winning every single game. So this guy was a loser at racquetball. He took it. He's winning. I don't know. Can you believe it? This guy's a coach. He needs dramatic improvement in his coordination. Increased dexterity, hand-eye coordination. Damn, my reflex and responses are much quicker than effective. Crap. Ah, I was saying that about my weed. Man, could this be? Could this be what it was doing it? Maybe my strain isn't like the magical strain. It was the fucking gold this entire time, which means it could be sprayed on any plant. I don't know. I have no idea. Could it possibly have made my plant have the same effects? Like, what's it doing to the plant? I don't know. I mean, I did take it, but that was years ago, so I don't know. You know, maybe when I spray it on my plants, it gets on me. Who the hell knows? You know. Well, I'm gonna have to have my strain. I already had tested by a bunch of people, but I'm gonna have to have them do an actual like real test with like guys in lab coats and like they smoke and then they do some coordination thing. Like they have to run back and forth 3 times, and then they have to shoot a basketball through a hoop, and then they've got to like throw a football through like a donut or something like that, a tire, a spare tire, and then have them do it before they smoke, and then have them do it after they smoke. See if they're better. See, the only problem with that is they're going to have practice. So doing it the first time, they're going to be able to say, "Oh, blah blah, he just can do it better now because he's been shooting. You've been he failed a few times, so now he knows how to do it." I don't know how those things work. You know what I mean? Double blind tests. I have no idea. Something's got to be done to try to prove this. Okay, this guy. Hand-eye coordination. Play semi-polo soccer. Energizes stamina. Wow. Hand-eye coordination. Physical coordination. See this guy right here. Taking Claw Ghost resulted in a dramatic increase in my physical coordination. I move faster, think faster, respond faster, and more aware. I experience better coordination not only for my martial arts, but also my computer games and video games I play, for example, in both Xbox and PlayStation. My performance is really improved. I was saying that when I smoke this shit, it makes me play better on my Xbox, man. That's crazy. I really think that this gold stuff is rubbed off on the plant. Like the plant can give that when you smoke it, when it's feeding it. Yeah, I can do things that guys have been playing for years can't even do. Ah, man, same like me. Like expertly drive the James Bond's car, which is really quite difficult and requires increased concentration and coordination. I need this fucking fight. Oh shit, look at this guy's talking about meditation. Just like I was saying, just wanted to write and alert you the value of your product, Cloud Go, to increase my ability to achieve a peak meditative state. Meditation is something I've been working on every day. The speed at which Cloud Gold augments my efforts is amazing. Visualizations seem to take on dimensions that previously occurred with only a rarity. I would recommend your Cloud Gold to anyone who is interested in improving his or her ability to concentrate. It literally strips years off and brought me back to a state of mental alertness that I experienced in my early adulthood. Once again, thank you for putting the time and energy into developing such a product. Keep up the good work. That is pretty crazy. Whoa, geez, this is another meditation one. I've been working on with meditation known as trains brain meditative state, develop neural pathways between two brain hemispheres. According to music because I found the tapes were relaxing. Now he's talking about him syncing his brains. Now I'm gonna get into maybe do a presentation on the hemi-syncing of both your brains and show you some declassified reports on some stuff that'll probably blow your mind. Okay, before the music goes, I found the tapes very relaxing, and they would put me in a deep euric state. He's talking about the brainwave tapes. According, I would find my brain thinking very fast. However, now that I'm using miso gold, my brain is very active every section. I'm concerned now that I've created a relaxed state that I've been told that the active state is even more productive and indicates that even more progress is being made. Okay. Memory. So this guy's improving your memory, makes his brain work better. Um, just like nonstop, nonstop. Neuropathic daughter. Let's see. Diesel gold. Sharp and clear. Made a sharp and clear mind. What is this one? The only conclusion I can arrive that electrical signals from the senses of the nerves speed up with the help of the conductivity of the mesogold particles traveling through my body. After all, gold is second best conductor of electricity known to man, and the functions of all the body are electrical in nature. The mesogold is harmless to the body as gold is unreactive in itself, and the particles are just above the atomic size, so no clogging of any veins or arteries can occur. Okay. Jeez, that's crazy, man. It's crazy thinking this shit's gonna be in your bloodstream, you know what I mean? That's why I'm like, dude, think twice about drinking this shit. It's gonna be all in your body for a while. But plants now. I'm telling you, man, I swear I must be getting these benefits from smoking the plant that was like fed this stuff and sprayed with it in a vegetative state. I don't know. Is it putting the gold somewhere in its body, and then when it makes the flowers, it's releasing like stuff that the gold's like attached to? So you got like then that goes in the buds, or it's like THC gold. I'd love to test my flower and see how much gold is in it. If they can find gold in the actual flower. That would be fucking crazy. Uh, yeah, it goes on and on. Mental focus. All right, let's get back to the top. All right. Again, this is the kind I like. I like the big boys, the big ones. In order from there, miso gold. So, could this be why? Could it be why my weed is so crazy? I don't know. I can tell you what, it's worth every penny of the $249. I used about half a gallon on my plants, though, man. It's pretty big, man. I mean, when I spray pure, the contents, pure of this. So I'll do like half a gallon, maybe like feed some each plant and spray them. I'll do that like once, and I'll wait till they're big too. I ain't gonna spray. I mean, you can spray something little with it, but I like to wait till they're big. You know what I mean? Wait till they're big and then spray them with big bushes. You know what I mean? Maybe in like July or something like that, late July or something. Hit them with it. Oh no, early July. Hit them with it. No, July, that whole month gets that gold. Golden Boost. You can spray me more. See, the other one got extra this last year because, like I said in the past video, I had the termites bite in the stalk, so I wanted to treat the stalk with something. So once I got rid of the termites with some nematodes, I went and sprayed the plant a lot with that gold, and it ran down and it went right to the roots. It drank it right up. I'm sure. So, yeah, wow, could be. I think so. So now, I don't know. You never know though. We'll have to see what other people think. Now, people I've had try it, they said, what was it? Unbelievable, absolutely amazing is why I got. So it's very good, very good, very good results. Again, it's clone only. I was able to get some nice clones this year, and I got some backups that I'm just going to get rid of, and only the best will be kept. That's how I'm doing it. Um, yeah, best way to do it. You know, can't wait to get like my garden soil, all that compost, all spread up. I still have that all piled up, and I'm keeping that piled up for a reason. We're getting a lot of rain, and I don't want that all rain to wash all that goodness out of it. So I've been taking like just like bucketfuls and putting it around some plants and stuff, and moving a little bit around for the garden stuff. But I keep a tarp over it so the rain don't get at it. That's kind of how you gotta do it. Around this time we got a lot of rain. It'll just fuck up the soil before I even get my plants in the ground. So I'm gonna put all that stuff out, spread it all out nice when I put my plants in the ground. Now for putting the plants in the ground, I'm looking at maybe 14 hours of daylight, but over 14. I'm looking at 14 like 45. 14 hours and 45 minutes of light outside, which is somewhere around the 20th maybe or the 18th of this month, which is 10 days from now. I can get them out. I got them adjusting to the light as we speak, very slowly in the shade, getting it out. I'm going to be spraying some nematodes, getting the nematodes all straightened out, and they'll kill everything in the garden. I'm going to tell you one thing. Um, I've been burying some stuff, some all natural stuff in the ground. I gotta tell you, like that guy got me on this like fish kick. So I put some fish in the ground. I put some and while doing that, I noticed there was some grubs in these long little yellow bug things. I think those are the fucking little plant cutter things. Now they're fucking around my soil, and I know what they're going after. They go after the mint. So it's good to have some mint around because they'll go after that. They'll leave my other shit alone. So I got a lot of mint in the area. So I'm gonna put down the nematodes. They're gonna kill all that stuff off, and then the manure will go on top of all that. And then I've got to put the. I'm also gonna put predator mites. More predator mites. Those ladybugs I released in there, man, they've done an awesome job. Those things stick around, and of course, I got the netting over it, the whole area, so they're kind of stuck in there. But last I looked today, man, there were freaking ladybugs all on the plants in that spot because there's really not much in there. It's just kind of like a patch with, you know, just a little bit in there, some few seedlings up. So like they want to go on a plant to clean stuff, so they're always on stuff to clean it. It's perfect. And that was definitely the solution I can say to do. You release predator mites, and then you release the ladybugs because you need the ladybugs have to eat something. So the predator bugs will eat some mites, and the ladybugs will eat some mites and the predator bugs, or the predator mites. So you can kind of like feed them, because otherwise they'll just starve out. Ladybugs can last a long time. They can live a long time. I had a source to get the ladybugs from. Nature's Good Guys, awesome source to get ladybugs. Their ladybugs are great. 75,000 ladybugs you could get for like 100 and something bucks. I think those sold out. You can still get smaller totes now, but you can just get a bunch of smaller ones. But imagine that many ladybugs. Problem was, it was off season. They mean, and by the time it's my season, usually a lot of them are sold out. This year, what I did was, I was like, fuck, I need these ladybugs going. Like, I want ladybugs, and they always sell out, and I want these guys ladybugs. So what I did was, I did what I was saying. I get the mites, and I fed my ladybugs. I, like, took care of ladybugs, very much. It was an absolute shit show. Um, a lot of you guys would have been like, oh my god, you should have filmed it and showed everyone and stuff. It would have been hilarious. Yeah, probably would have been hilarious. But it can be done. You can keep ladybugs alive by feeding them predator mites. They'll love them. And it's just like, I don't know. And then you can get them when it's cooler out, then warmer out, then you can put them out into your tent and stuff like that. Now, I had originally got them to try to kill some scale that was on a fruit tree. It always goes away when I put it out, and every year when I bring it in, that damn scale comes back. So this year I'm going to eradicate it. So I'm just going to figure it out. Every single summer, it always goes away because the predator bugs outside take care of the business. This year, once I do it, I'm going to keep treating it when I bring it in. Make sure there ain't shit on it. Hopefully be done with those bastards. But, so, the ladybugs did not want to eat them. It's like they wanted to like eat mites. So, I don't know. Their ladybugs don't eat scale. What can I say? Certain ladybugs do, certain don't. There's something that's called like scale destroyers or something. It's like a black version of a ladybug. It's like a ladybug but it looks black. Those things will eat tons of scale. I gotta get a hold of them, but they're always sold out. Whatever. Uh, there are other things I can try. There's a lot of different predator bugs that are on the website that I can try to feed them, and that's what I'm gonna do. Because I got like how many lemons I got on those plants? Man, those trees must have produced me like 40 lemons this year. Unbelievable. Ton of lemons. So, alright, take a hit of this. Yeah. I'll show you guys the prices of the other ones in case anyone wants to know. So you can get a smaller ball, 28 bucks. Again, that shit ain't gonna do much for you at all for your plants. I mean, you need a lot to spray on. I don't know if diluting it will work. When I bought the first time, I got this size. It's not that big. Or maybe, I don't know. Maybe it was a different size. Oh, 16 fluid ounces. I don't know. Here's the 5 gallon. $6.99. That's kind of expensive. I ain't going 5 gallon. I like the 1 gallon because I can always buy more, and I would rather it not go bad or spoil. So, that's the only problem with this. If it spoils and stuff. You do not want to contaminate it because you can get the gold to drop out of solution. So always pour it in a clean container. Then you can go to shop. Let's look at see they have hot tub silver, like stuff you can put in your hot tub, and concentration creams, topical creams, antifungal bacterial stuff. There's some copper products, iridium. Here's a silica. Now this I'm interested in. I want to try the silica. Now this stuff I could like microdose to a plant, and it might be like a really good, fast, intense silica for a plant. Like, because what are we talking about? Like, let's see how they say they make it. Colloidal silica, 600 ppm. So a 6 nm particle size. This is for like people's skin and stuff. I don't know. I gotta look up silicas and which ones you can do with plants. But it's interesting. And of course, they have the copper. We know copper can produce early flowering, but I wouldn't really mess with that. Yeah, I wouldn't use the copper one. Man, it is nice out. Blue skies, crazy blue skies. All right, so I'm gonna be ripping this, and then I'm gonna end the show. But I think I'm gonna take a bit of high too with me. Take a little hit of that. There might not be nothing on the news to read, but you know, I'll probably be doing a high news soon. It's pretty much gonna be a show where I just go over my tabs. I'll have to make a Twitter account, say a bunch of funny shit I see throughout the week on my Twitter, save all my tabs throughout the week of like shit I read, crazy shit that's going on in the news. And then maybe at the end of the week, every once in a while, I can do a show. I'll just go over my tabs, commentary on it all, and show you guys Clown World up front. We'll go over the Clown World. I mean, just today, there's so much stuff I could pull up. I could pull up stuff on the Texas Nash Pew Pew, and how they're all saying, "Oh, it's a white supremacist" and all this stuff. Now, I haven't seen the footage, but allegedly, the tattoo on his hand is MS-13 tattoo. That would be typical of the left to do that. What else has been in the news? Well, there's a bombshell coming out on Wednesday. Man, big bombshell. I mean, I could try covering that live maybe, but I don't know. It is kind of political and controversial. So covering this stuff, I don't know if I'm gonna cover political stuff. It just puts a target over your head. You know what I mean? But there's stuff coming out on Wednesday. Massive stuff. I don't even know if I can say it on YouTube because it'll probably be censored. I don't want to be censored. But you'll find out. Everyone will find out. If you watch the news, you'll find out. It's Republicans information they have that they're going to release on specific Democrats, and different family involvement allegedly, and they're telling the authorities to hold off on a criminal prosecution till I think they said this Wednesday, because when they put that information out, it'll make that stuff look like nothing, apparently. But I'm saying, why don't you just put it out now? You know what I mean? I don't like the whole hold off on something. We're gonna wait till Wednesday. I don't know, whatever. So there's some cool shit coming out there. Should be big news cycle there. Again, though, do I want to risk losing my channel here just talking about the news when I could just, I guess, talk about the weed news of the weed, marijuana news. And there is some news on the horizon. I believe I read some articles on some positive things with cannabis and the legalization. Problem is with that is I believe we're going to be stuck in committees and all this stuff with that marijuana legislation. I think someone said it best. I forget who said it, but they said until they figure out how to totally control the money flow of cannabis, they're not going to federally legalize it. So they got to figure it all out, and then once they get the monopoly on it, then it'll be legalized, and they'll make all the money. That's what they want. Fine, just let them do it, I guess, and get it done. But what the hell? They freaking better hurry up. You know what I mean? It's kind of annoying waiting for them and shit, and I don't know. They, it's like greed is the only thing that'll get the politicians and people to move faster. Like if you're like, oh, but you guys will be able to make a lot of money because you'll know what to invest in, and they'll be like, oh yes, let's do it. Let's pass it now. I could use a new house, something like that. So it gets passed. It's just something like bullshit like that. So I don't know. It is their ticket to making money. I looked at tobacco companies. If you notice, they keep making it illegal to smoke tobacco. All these different states and stuff, they're making it illegal to do tobacco. I'm like, oh, well, exactly. Look what the same states are making it illegal to sell the marijuana. So they're shifting. Wherever the money was going for that, they're going to want the money on the marijuana. So that I bet you these cigarette companies, at some point, they're going to have to move to hemp. And they're going to make like hemp, like cannabis cigarettes or something. I wonder what they're going to do with it. Mix nicotine with it? I don't know, like a Marlboro hemp version? I, I don't know. Tobacco was always tobacco, and people love tobacco. But then the companies ruined tobacco, and they made it like something that was like really, really bad. And I don't know. They could do the same with weed. What is it, like the chemicals or something? I don't know. Whatever they're doing there. Why isn't there a better way to grow it? So I don't know. Here's the thing with the chemicals. They only put that shit in it because it makes it last longer. Otherwise, it would go bad. They didn't want to have fresh stuff. They should have just tried to have fresh tobacco. It would have been healthier. That's what I heard. I heard that without that stuff, the tobacco will go stale and bad and whatever. And if they're a mass production company, then it needs to have a shelf life or some bullshit. I don't know. Pretty sick though. I don't know. It makes you wonder, like, what they're gonna do with the weed too. And there's another thing I want to cover: the zombie epidemic. You got the most sickest zombie epidemic going on. Absolutely sick. And the zombie epidemic is what is that drug called? Trank? There's a new trank. It has like this animal thing in it, animal tranquilizer in it, and they're putting it in all the drugs, heroin, like all the drugs. I even, can't even think of them. I think meth and what is the other one they do? Whatever that new bullshit that they're doing. I don't even remember the name of it. And they're all walking around like fucking zombies on the street. And they're like, what the fuck is going on with it? They even said it was in the cocaine, it was in everything. Like, they're just turning everyone to like these zombies, and then their like body parts like rot off at alarming rates. And I was watching this like documentary thing on it, and it was like the news reporting it, and apparently, like, dude, one moment this guy had his thumb, his fingers, and everything, and then he smoked it, and then when he was like woke up, his thumb was gone, and there's no explanation to why like the thumb just like went away, and it was like an infection that did it. I don't know, an infection that fast that just rotted the thumb away that quick. That is sick. And I'm afraid to say, I wonder if they're putting that in the marijuana. Man, the only safe thing to do is to have it yourself and to grow it yourself. And then I was watching this like I don't know. I went and clicked one video, and now they're sharing all these other videos. So these like interrogations of these crazy like crimes and stuff. And like there was these one idiot kids, and they murdered one of their friends or something like that because when he was over, he didn't want to drink because he had to drive. So he smoked, and they said you can smoke some of the weed instead of drinking. So he did that instead. But apparently he smoked too much of the weed and like smoked it all, and then they got so angry they beat him up and then killed him. And then it was like I can't believe it was over that. It was like ridiculous. I was like something you can grow outside legally, and the amount that they were like arguing over is just like ridiculous. I was like, oh my god, this world is absolutely insane. Oh yeah, man, we could go on to the border crises, the I don't know. I could show the Ukraine war fucking clips. I don't know. But then I'm like, people must read the news. I'm like, well, do they really need me to point articles out? This sounds pretty stupid because it's just like everywhere. Like, how do people not know? So, apparently, though, people don't watch the news, so maybe I should update some people on some shit just in case. I don't know. Pretty crazy. Like, there's a fire in Canada right now, a forest fire, and the authorities of Canada apparently are being insanely incompetent right now about it. Now, if they just stopped it now, it would probably be fine. But you watch in like the summer, it'll be all over every news place. Oh my god, look how bad the fires are raging everywhere. And it's like, dude, it's like, okay, they could be controlled now. Just put the fucking fire out. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you got to call them out to do it. Because I swear, I mean, they're gonna fucking make the fire get really bad, and you won't be able to put it out. You know, kind of stupid. All right. Well, what else is there? There's a lot of stuff. I mean, we got asteroids flying by. We got like the Patriot missile system apparently successfully shot down a hypersonic Russian missile, which is actually pretty impressive and good. Um, that's actually a good. Maybe we might actually have a chance if anyone launched anything after us, but hopefully we have a surplus that even freaking works. But then again, was that the one that Germany sent, or was that the one that we sent? I don't know. And what upgrades do they make? I don't know. That's good. Good news on that. Um, Again, we got a weather report here. It's pretty sunny, few clouds in the sky, trees blowing a little bit. Now, I wanted to put my plants out today, but the wind was just fucking decking them. And then like it is when it's really weird. Like you'll have like the wind. Every time I put my plants out, the wind will be absolutely ape shit. And then when I bring my plants in, oh my god, the wind just goes away. It's like F you, so I just kept them in the sunroom. They're getting in the shade, half part sun, part shade, getting their thing on. I'll have to move them back up into their tent. Maybe even give it a clean while they're out. And then we'll get them back out in the sun tomorrow. Ooh. Maybe the same thing, maybe a little more full sun. Maybe after a few days, I can give them full sun and they'll want. They'll let me know when they want. They'll beg for it and stretch towards it. You know, I know not to do it. They may look like they're fine. They may, oh yeah, just put them out. They look fine. But dude, you'll notice in like a few days that you'll be like, ah, shit, what did I do? I should have friggin' did it because the leaves got bleached out or some shit, or the leaves get fucked. You gotta be real careful moving them from the tent to sunlight. Very careful. Again, this silica has me thinking. Sounds pretty good. You probably wouldn't need too much of it. Small particle surface area. Skin conditioner for that one. Not too bad, not too bad. Let's see what else they got. See, look at they got probiotics here. In an enzyme. True Flora probiotic. I'm just gonna click this. I didn't know they had this. What's this? Oh, 10 billion CFU colony? That's nothing. 30 billion. I got 102 billion per pill of an awesome probiotic. That's nothing here. Okay, they have bioidoid. See, now what's that one? Maybe that's something that I don't have in mind. Okay, Theric probiotics are multi-strain probiotics. Blah blah blah. Yeah, but which ones are those probiotics? Okay. Species of that bifidobacteria are known to colonize large intestines, while the lactose whatever are small intestines. Okay, that's pretty good. I'll have to look in mine. That's a good point because you want both intestines. You see a lot of the lacto whatever, and some of the other ones. But have you ever seen the bifidobacterium? I don't know. I'm gonna have to read the back of my bottle. But as you notice, they're selling this shit on here because people are wiping out their good and friendly bacteria. If you have yours, I'd probably just keep that instead of taking any of this. We're just talking plant supplements here. Just plant supplements here. But if you need any of these anyway, maybe you could try some of them. Oh yeah. Let's change the music up. Here we go. I am tempted to make this stream very long, but I don't think I'm gonna do it. Long streams are no good. If I come back, I might do a news thing. I'm eager to do some news, but I don't know if I'm gonna do it. I may find the shit I need to do it. I pretty much talked about everything I need to talk about. So anyone even coming in late, you're gonna have to rewind it later and listen to the whole thing. If you want to know about the gold and the mesogold. I'd say it does store well. It stores excellent, actually. Keep it out of the sun, you know. I'd be interested in finding out what other people's what is it called? Tissue culture secrets actually are. Like, I'd be very interested in knowing the tissue culture secrets because I wonder if any of this colloid of the gold is in it. It makes me wonder if there's any gold colloid in their tissue culture solutions. Well, you could suspend some of that. You could put some of like just the basic nutrient shit that they need. Um, and you know what? Like for that, man, I just like to spray them, man. Every once in a while, you just miss them. Like this what are they? Clonex makes that Clonex mix. I love that shit, man. You can spray that on some plants, man. They fucking love it. I had some what did I spray on? Figs. I had these fig trees I transplanted, and I wanted to give them a little like, well, because they needed their roots to stretch out before they could properly start, ingesting the nutrients. So I gave them a little spray of that stuff. Man, they loved it. Gave them a nice boost. You just don't want to spray your plants too much with it. If you keep spraying your plants like multiple times a day, yeah, you can get your plants to have like leaf burn a little bit. But because it's a sprayed on leaf burn, it ain't like you killed the roots. You just like hurt the leaf. You know what I mean? The leaf took too much in, type of thing. So it's kind of a little interesting thing. So in fact, you could keep it in the state where it's just in this fucking little water, sitting in it, just chilling as a little piece of plant. It's got the gold colloids. It's got some other stuff it needs, maybe like a little silica and some other shit. And you're just keeping that plant alive in there. And when it needs some of that nutrients, you just spray it with that. Give them a little mist, and they're good to go. And then the cutting will feed off of that a little bit. Problem with that stuff is it's got like this root hormone in it, so it's gonna make it want to root like crazy. So if you can make your own spray, like they do, but like just don't put the root hormone or whatever they do in it, then yeah, you could do something shit, or you could do some shit right that. Slow down the process of it rooting. That's what you want to do. And then you can have a whole collection of your tissue cultures of each plant. And then when you need one, you can break it out and you can use it. Now, personally, I think it would be better to find some growers and just have them like keep some of your plants growing. But you never know; their plants get fucking killed, or something happens, a flood happens, bugs come in, everything gets killed. Something happens, you can lose it. So tissue culture is good. I'm thinking maybe even like in a refrigerated like situation where you got like this refrigerator and it's like at a certain temperature, like at a colder temperature that would keep it more fresh and it would last longer. But the like have a light turn on or stay on when you shut the refrigerator door. That way it has something to go on, and it can like you can put a timer on that shit. That would be cool, man. Some of these people that do the grow companies, man, I don't know. They should friggin' make a refrigerator with a grow light inside of it. Like instead of a grow tent, it's like a refrigerator. That shit would be really cool. You can even have like a glass door so you can see inside. You know what I'm saying? And you can put the plant in there, a bunch of them, and it would like keep them alive longer at a cold level so that they wouldn't grow quicker. You know what I'm saying? If you needed to like keep something on storage, long term storage of like cuttings and shit, that would be cool. Because I noticed I've done it in refrigerators and it works awesome. Only problem I have is the cuttings need light, and I can't get the light to stay on. And even if I do, it's a bullshit bulb. I need something like a grow light in there. That'd be sweet. It'd be cool if you could control the temperature and shit. And that would like since it was sealed off, that would like you wouldn't smell anything, and you could have it all vented out. The friggin' through like a tube in the back or something that goes in there, fans it out into something else. That would be really badass, actually. That would be really badass. I can see it now. Oh man, dude. Don't those things produce like what do they produce in the friggin' the cold air that comes out of that it's not radon, it's something. I don't know. In a freezer, all that cold air the old refrigerators used to have that below. The new ones you don't see it. We used to have the old ones, and it used to have like this like cold mist or like fog used to come out of this like thing at the top, and it used to just like come out, man. Oh man, I used to love smelling that shit. It used to smell like cold, like freezer. Come to find out, that shit's very bad for you. You're not supposed to smell that, but that's probably why they don't have refrigerators like that anymore. But I remember my old freezer used to have that. That's man, that was back in the day, man. Man, they used to have freezers that were ice boxes, and I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about getting an old 19 whatever refrigerator that was just like an ice box and it required ice. Just in case like that you need shits the fan scenario. Alright, I'm gonna play a game over here. We'll save the song. Let's get this game going. I have all my buddies on. I'm doing color switch. I have one of my buddies come on. I haven't seen the dude in a while. Man, you just can't get this game Fortnite, dude. I can't understand it. It's so fun, but like, man, some people suck. He just gave up quick. He came into my match, told me to switch it to no build. So I'm like, all right, whatever. He's playing no build, and then mid match, he's gone. Just gone. Leaves the match. I'm like, ah, damn, that's crazy. I'll have to say this, like, I don't know. There's like different controller configurations you need, and there are people on YouTube. I'd have to show who they are. Um, they'll tell you what control settings to do each time, and you'll like up your controls. Like you'll dominate like nothing. Like they make you so incredible, just from like changing like your settings, how they tell you. Now you think the game would automatically have those settings, but it's almost like not fair. And then there's certain characters that if you get the characters, and then if you get like a certain like ice pick or like pickaxe with that character, you can like move faster. There's like a less delay, lag delay or something with it. So that's like another thing people do. There's so many things that you can do. for that. So, but I mean, you just have to play the game and figure it out. You know. Well, that guy's got a hammer, man. All right, in this game, it's called Color Switch. The floors are all checkered. It's a squared arena. Checkered floors. Each checker is a color. Color display on screen saying like red, and that means you gotta go in red, a red block, or else the blocks disappear, you fall through. And while that's all going on, you're fighting each other. But you only get a certain amount of weapons. It's pretty fun. It's kind of competitive a little bit. Man, they got so many of these games. So apparently there's a hammer in this one. Or they bought the hammer. You can get like coins and then buy shit on the vendings in this. Oh, you got blasted out. Oh, he's dead. Good, I get to play. Nice. After this shit, I gotta get outside in the garden, man. I gotta move some soil. My vegetable garden. I gotta see if I can transplant some bok choy. I accidentally grew some seeds, and it grew into some nice plants. I gotta spread some seed to grow them. And other stuff. Yeah, while I'm waiting, I guess I'm gonna pack another one. Now, I'm not actually. Oh, sorry. I'm not actually even packing full bowls. I kind of pack a little bomb, a few hitters, put it down. Ah, shit! What the fuck? Dude, they disappeared the colors that fast on me. I'm done. I'm dead. It was just like that. Man, I gotta learn this one. This one's a faster pace. It color switched before I even landed in my friggin' let's see what I can do here. What weed do we have? Well, I do have extra high. Which one should I puff on though? I think this is D-zone. Okay. This is D-zone high. Now, this is the high that was pollinated by the stuff that was facing the D-zone. So that's why I separated the high plant into different quadrants of wherever a male was. But, I mean, that doesn't mean anything. It could be any of the males up here. Turkey bag. Alright, screw that. Pull a little bit out. Shit, that guy's throwing airstrikes. So far, I don't see any seed in this little bit. Empty it out. Gonna be doing a video on my plants outside. That's gonna be training videos. It's gonna be awesome. I'll be able to document every little topping I do. Well, almost everything. After a while, it's just gonna get pretty redundant, but I already have some serious branching on the female. Haven't dug the male up. Gonna do it. Figured I'm gonna dig him up with everything else. Try not to disturb him as much as possible. Plant the entire cluster. That way, anything entangled won't get fucked up. Then I'll just grow that male out. I'm gonna try to give away the other ones that are around it, or just give it away. But I'm definitely gonna take tops on it. Take the tops as clones and keep them tissue cultured. There is a harvest. I can get 2 harvests in technically, if I wanted. I might try it, but if I was gonna, I don't know. We'll have to see what I do with that. Maybe I can get some of these testers to be like tiny ones. Then again, I'm just going to be finding something and then saying, oh my god, I regret cutting it down. Should have kept it. That's why I've got to take a clone of the clone once I do that. Whatever. I don't think I'm going to have time to do that. I'm be so busy with everything else. I'll just keep it tissue cultured for a while. And or just pheno hunt properly, you know what I mean? Because these things were just regular poppers, you know. They didn't pop in the cold. They're not like the cold ones. I mean, it was a little early, but not real early. So there is nothing technically special about them, except that they just happen to be the ones that animals didn't eat. They just happen to grow, happen to sprout in the ground. The ones I'm mainly interested in are the ones that survive the freezing frost temperatures. Now, as you saw in my earlier videos, there were a lot of seedlings, man. There were a lot of them. Shit, I'm fucking playing right here. All right. Yeah, there was a lot of them, man. And they all died. Like, a lot of them died, if you noticed. In those early videos, you just noticed, like, the ones that popped, and then there was just, like, 3 of them at one point. And then the rest of them, there seemed to be seeds everywhere all around it that just happened to just pop. And I'm wondering the reason why the other ones didn't do it. I'm trying to figure out why that little spot just got a lot of the plants and the other areas didn't. And then I realized it. I put the cage over it. When I caged the spot, it made it so the birds couldn't eat the seed that was in the ground. So I think that's what happened. I think the birds ate the seed that was in the ground. And that little spot there, they weren't able to get. Now, they didn't eat all the seed that's in the ground. There were some that did grow in little spots, but not the enormous amount you'd think. So, I don't know if hunting by surviving nature's odds is a good way of doing it. It's definitely not the proper way. So, if anything, it's just a curiosity to see what the plant will even do, just to find out what it'll do, then to be able to properly hunt. But the ones that are like the cold resistant ones that survive being frozen, those I want to actually breed and get a lot of seed off that, and then put that down again. See if I can find something else that'll do it. Find more mutants, you know, that can survive the cold. Now, surprisingly, outside I've got radishes growing. I got a lot of radishes outside, but again, I should put something over it because I think birds ate a lot of the seed that I was expecting to have over there. Because I noticed a lot of birds were around the garden, hopping around, picking at the soil. I just assumed they were getting bugs. Now I realize that they're fucking eating my seeds. So after we got that going, we'll have the next year, hopefully, something good. So that male I'm going to cross with the cold resistant female, and then I'm going to cross it with one of the clones that is from that original like high cultivar cut, and then hopefully it'll get more to that plant. It'll be more like that plant. Because I'll say it like the D is good. Like D is really good. Um, and that's the male that was the D, which was the chocolate covered strawberry, dark chocolate covered strawberry tart flavor. Very good, but it's lacking like see I can't when you say potency like it doesn't have the potency the way you look at the high and all that. But I mean, if you just smoke a little more, I mean, I guess it is like a different high too because of the way when you smoke it, you could smoke a lot of the other one, and then when you get the D, you'll still get high because it's like a different high. I don't know. I can't explain it. Like terpenes are different, so it'll still be good. But as far as getting the same results as the middle one, I want that, and I think I can achieve it by crossing it back into itself each time I get a cool mutant. You know what I mean? Which is kind of what I'm trying to do. And then when I get those mutants, it's like watering down like juice. And each time, hopefully, it'll be less watered down. I don't know. Oh man, that was how did was that? Damn, fell through the ground. It showed a flame, but apparently it doesn't mean red. I don't know what that was. Weird, 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 weird. I think I'm gonna actually play something there, random. You know, what else can I talk about on this videos I want to make? Finally whack this one out. What's the next one I want to whack out? So we did that one. We did that one. Oh yeah, bones. I do have some bones I want to add to my soil. Now it's been how many years since I had bones put in my soil? Since I created my mounds and stuff. That big 20-foot mound. My 20-foot triangle mounds. What was that? I don't know. Years and years ago, right? So I'm going to put more bone in the ground. Now I got a lot of fish in there, but I need to add like animal bone and stuff. That'll break down with eggshell and different things like that. Then I gotta get a lot of Epsom salt. Treat that on that, nice and good. Put it at a deeper level so it breaks down, you know. And surprisingly, the plants love it. I don't know. People say never to do it, but I don't know. My secret's the bones, man. And they last a good amount of time. Uh, so what else? Yeah, man, I got T-bones. I've got freaking chicken bones. I got like pork chop bones or whatever those are. I got lamb bones. turkey bones. No, I even got a coyote skull and deer spine bone that I found in the woods. But I ain't gonna friggin' put that in the ground. No. Uh, what else? Hmm, hmm, I don't know. My main worry this year are the grubs, of course, but I don't know. I get them every year. I get grubs. I know. There's a secret way to get them. I can take my magnetite dust and I can stick that bucket like on the dirt, and for some reason they'll all gather underneath it. Like they love it. There's something to do with like the magnets with it. They absolutely love the magnetite dust that I've got. I got it all in the bucket. I got to process more magnetite. There's a video on that I've got to make. I mean, I got a lot more magnetite to process. I want to process the rest of it. I just want to pour it all over my like garden area and stuff. Because the magnetite, if that vinyl chloride ever did make it to my area, I want to keep putting this stuff down. I think this is a year. Fuck it, use it all. But the stuff has this stuff. I swear it's like gold powder in it, and I want to take that stuff out. I still have to get it tested to find out exactly what we're talking about here, but it definitely has a lot of sand and stuff that I got removed. Now I've been removing it with a big bucket and a stick with some pretty powerful neodymium magnets on it, swirling it around, taking little bits of the magnetite out, while the sand falls to the bottom, swirling it. And it seems to do a good job of doing it. You can get it all out, cleaned up nice, and then you can use it. Dry it up, spray it around. It'll absorb any. See, I was using it to take mercury and other like hazards out of my garden area. I'd clean my garden up with magnetite dust. It was a secret I would do, and I would also lay the magnetite dust out in the sun, let it charge up with the sun, and then I would spread it at night. I would put it all around underneath my plant and absorb into the ground. And according to Wilhelm Reich and a bunch of other like top scientists back a long time ago, they claim that it absorbs like photons or something from the sun and it can release the energy at night when the lights out into the plant, and the plants benefit from it somehow. So I've been doing that. I don't know if it helps, but that'll be good to continue that with knowing about all the contamination in the sky and rain down, and keep that out of my garden. So I got a lot of pounds of that to fucking do. I got like I don't know, maybe 30 pounds of magnetite dust to fucking process and clean out all the sand and shit. That I'll say, the stuff isn't clean. It's all muddy and everything. You gotta clean that up. So there's a lot of processing I've got to do, but it's pretty easy to do once you do it. And I can just let it all settle, pump all the water out, and then mix it up with more water. Let the magnetite settle, pump all the mud water out, and then let that mud water do its thing, and then get whatever's in there later. But and then I can take that and then do my cleaning process with it even better. Before I would put the mud water in a big fucking bucket, and then it would be muddy for friggin' how long? Um, God, it could stay muddy for like 7 months, and then finally be clear, and it'll all be down the bottom, and then like you let it evaporate out because it gets real hot in my sunroom. It evaporates out, and then it'll turn to like a paper layer on top of everything. You can literally just pull off all the mud. It's like weird. It'll form like a paper, and you get remove all of it, and then underneath it, you get this awesome magnetite with some more of the sand, and then you mix that up, and you pull the sand out of that, and, to get clean magnetite. You know what I mean? And because this stuff was just scooped out of the ground, you know what I mean, stuck in a bag, sent shipped to me and shit. So it's got all sorts of like stuff. It could be pyrite, it could be gold. I think it might be gold because I don't know. People that have done it claim that they can get gold out of it, and the guy claimed trace amounts of gold. So I don't know. I might have just got a lucky like batch or something, but definitely is nice. There's definitely a secret to getting it out though. These little tiny amounts of gold that I've been getting, definitely a secret. I'm gonna have to like maybe show the secret, but I already gave part of the secret. That's part of the secret. Like that all that mud that I was talking about, you gotta get that rid of that. Like otherwise, it's gonna trap all the particles of the tiny like whatever it is, the shiny stuff. Makes it so much easier. Then you gotta use that magnet, pull it out, separate it into the sand. Then you gotta pan it. You gotta pan that shit out, remove all the sand, and you get to see what's left at the bottom. And that's where you usually find the shiny stuff. So pretty interesting. And that's what got me into like looking up gold because I was like, oh man, so I was putting this on there, and if that is gold, am I like plants feeding on gold? Can plants even do that? I looked it up, found about eucalyptus plants and how they're able to extract gold out of them and plants into gold. Then started looking up the benefits of gold in the plants, and then I was like, wow, this is crazy. Look at all these scientific shit talking about gold in plants and stuff, and what it does for them and shit like that. And so then I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I had this gold solution stuff that I had a long time ago that I bought, and then I used that, and it worked. Like I said, it treated the plant successfully. I was like, this is amazing. I spray all my plants with it, and then that year was an amazing, crazy year. That might have been the year that I had that jungle because I had to. I wasn't at my garden for like 3 months. It was just left unkept, unfed, just like the water going off on it, and it grew into a jungle. Man, that was a fun. I should have filmed it better and did a funner video. I might even could go return to the jungle and do a video on my jungle video. That might be a video I'll do. Return to the jungle and show my jungle video. Man, you hear all the snaps and shit? Me going through it. Those are like pot branches and everything else that was growing and shit. My God. And then you get to the center where the plant was. And it was crazy because it was like the death of like the dead plants on that like other plant. It just grew so fucking big that all the shit that was the major bush that was originally there was like just dead leaf. It wasn't stripped. So I remember that was a pain. I had to go in there and try stripping it all. Oh, wow. And I remember that year, it was just all the tops on the top. Like, because everything was shaded underneath. It was just like one big fucking mound. And the only way I got in was I had to cut the male down. And that was the year that the big fucking male pollinated everything on me. Because the fucker turned out to be a male. Ruined my entire crop that year. I only had maybe a few fucking buds. Well, I will be honest, not a few buds. I had enough buds that didn't have that much pollination or any pollination to last me. But I mean, it was like I had fucking seaweed, but I had a lot of seed. That's why I have like a lot of seed from that year. And it's pretty good seed, but the thing is though, the seed's good, but I mean, what are we talking? We're talking like, I don't know the percentages on them, but they're not like the crazy high percentages like people want. But maybe if all things go wrong and the government's like, oh, you can't grow freaking marijuana over a certain percentage, they'll be like, oh, good. Well, these plants I'll be able to use then, I guess. And then people will need the lower grade marijuana. You never know. They might put us back to 15%. They might say 12%. But I think they would keep the levels in the states the same. Would they be state levels and then there be other levels? I don't know. Crazy. I have no idea how they're gonna do it. It's just off the charts crazy when you think about it. All right, I've got to get outside. I gotta move some dirt. I'll say this: today was an insanely epic fail. I'm at like 3 o'clock. Shit, 3:30. I gotta move some dirt. You know what? Baby steps. I'm gonna move three wheelbarrows of dirt, or maybe two wheelbarrows of dirt. Spread it out in my lettuce area, and then I may do a little fence. Try to put up some fence. Maybe not do the whole thing, but I think I could discourage some animals from even going in. Then obviously set my sprinkler systems to work. And then this winter, we're going to be doing the Garden of Eden. I'm going to show you guys how to do a Garden of Eden garden during the winter, through the winter, into the spring. And I've just learned this secret from my mother, who just learned the secret, who lives in Maine. So my mother in Maine was able to do this garden with my father, and they had the plastic over it, the entire garden with hoops and stuff, and they kept like it like domed in greenhouse. And man, they've got it all grown in there now. Like they're so far ahead of the game, it's not even funny. Big strawberry plants with the flowers on it. Strawberries already grown. Dude, it's insane, man. All these lettuces, the parsley's everywhere. Everything just coming up. And I'm like, oh shit, dude, I got that 50-foot freaking greenhouse plastic. I'm just gonna fucking do that. Once I'm done using it with my cannabis, I'm gonna have like a lower dome. I'll use the inferior plastic tubes on that, or I can just keep it elevated just a little bit, because you don't even have to keep it high off the ground. I only need to get it elevated like maybe like 4 feet up, maybe 2 feet up, just enough to keep some air in between it and hold the snow off of it. Or just having the plastic down alone will just keep like the plants alive underneath, like at a different climate. And then you can have an entire garden under there. And what I'm gonna do is I want to like raise it up so I can like walk around in there, and then see if I can make like a little like environment in there, like my own little biodome, and have all the shit growing in like I don't know, January, February, yeah, February, March, April. Because if I can keep the heat up, I mean, it's amazing how it was able to do it in Maine. It's way colder up there than it is in Massachusetts here. So where they are, and it's actually pretty ingenious So I would think that it would work even better here. Work even better here. I can do it at a larger scale because the yard is bigger here with the garden, and it would work perfectly. Keep it elevated up, keep it high enough so I can actually go in a certain part. That would be kind of cool, man. Imagine if I could put like a little shed in there and have like a little house inside a little bubble in there. Start doing shit. That'd be cool. And then I got another spot. I'll be doing another main spot. Get going with my uncle, and we'll have that all set. Even bigger location, more um, zones we can grow, and we're showing you that. That'll be interesting. I'll have my high there. Some of my high cultivars will be there. That'll be fun. So there's a lot. There'll be a lot to film and do. Lot to film and do. So if I ever forget, I can just go back to this video and say, okay, yeah, that video. Okay, yeah, I said about that one. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember I have to do that. A lot of shit will happen, and it'll be last minute. But shit, I gotta do this right now. No time to get the camera. So I end up spraying the bone or doing the nematodes. But I usually try to update after of what I actually did. And yeah. I didn't show the fish. I just did the fish. You know what I mean? I just planted fish in my garden. So uh, again, you want to choose the fish. I already have a video on what fish to choose. You don't want like ocean fish. There, a lot of them can absorb mercuries and different bad shit. You know what I mean? But again, the magnetite dust would help. So, me personally, I like sardines. It's a short-lived fish, and it will be the cleanest fish in terms of metals. And you can mix a little that stuff I was just talking about, and with it magnetite dust, they'll absorb any mercury or anything bad, like any like bad mercury that may be in it. But there should be no mercury in that. Bigger fish that live a long time, yeah, those aren't good because those accumulate metals. Also, you don't want the ones with oil in it. Obviously, you want the salted water, whatever. You know what I mean? Unless you like to put olive oil in your fucking soil. I don't know. Maybe some of you might. All right, so that's that. Uh, I could probably wrap up the whole gold conversation. But again, people are just they're just gonna have to rewind it once this goes up. We're just gonna have to rewind it and read about it. Read about the true colloidal gold, not ionic gold. Pure. I'm gonna switch over here. I'm gonna go back into a game. I'm just gonna keep this up long. See what the friggin' analytics do. I don't know. I'm bored. I might get some ideas. I might have to say something so I don't forget it later. Because I do that a lot. But I'm not set up to bring up news articles right now. So otherwise, I'd be doing my news thing. It'd be much better. But I just have to do it like this. I'll play halfway through this game, then I'll shut her down. And then maybe do another video tomorrow or the next day on Any news? I might wait till Wednesday, see what kind of bombshell news these fucking senators have that they're gonna release then, and do a video on it and go live, show news in between, things like that. Things like that. I mean, I could probably like, what do I have up now though? My tabs aren't really anything interesting. Um, see nothing interesting. Just some stuff on Armenia. And there's a McDonald's thing I looked up. Something on Georgia. Yeah, see, I get stuff you're interested in. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get into. I guess I'll even get into fucking the shit, like maybe even the Met Gala. I don't really want to talk about these like celebrity like weirdos, but or like but I guess it could get clicks. Some people like it. I don't know. I come to the understanding that I have to do things people don't like. No, no, I have to do things that I don't like because people usually like the things I don't like. Things that I do like or I'm interested in, people aren't usually interested in. So I gotta freaking do that. I have not gotten that oxygen water machine. Some tells me it might be a scam. I don't know, but I don't know. I have to check to see. I want to see how much oxygen I'm putting in my water when I bubble my water with that bubbler for my plants, because I might be that might make more oxygen than the stupid machine that they've got that's supposed to do it. I mean, it works for fish, right? They say if you got fish in a fish tank, you just put one of them bubblers in it and it can like live and breathe in it. So it's obviously doing it. I don't know. That thing, that machine that's like $800 might be a big waste of money. I'm not interested in alkaline water. You know, maybe if someone wanted that. So that aspect I'm not interested in. Mineralization of water. Again, I'm not really interested in that part. I was just looking at some to oxygenate the water that I could drink. I'll say this: whatever my uncle's doing, this new thing people are doing, you guys will probably hear about it sometime soon in the news cycle, maybe in like 5 or 10 years or something. And that is people that are like swirling water, and then they got a medical oxygen tank, and they like put the oxygen in the water, and it like oxygenates the water, kind of like carbon does, but like it's oxygen. And then supposedly it helps people that need to up their oxygen levels, like my uncle does. So he does this medically. It's some new treatment that has yet to fully go through FDA, so that's why I couldn't get my hands on it. But he is either part of like an experimental trial of whatever's going on or something. And I got them to tell me how they do it, which was a bit tricky. Like they kind of wanted to keep it a secret, I guess. I don't know. But that'll probably be the new thing. Imagine drinks instead of carbon, it's oxygen. I don't know why they went to carbon. I guess because people like the carbonation, how carbonation is like feels on their mouth or something, the fizz of carbonation. But oxygen would be so much more healthier, and it wouldn't even be like enough oxygen to like you wouldn't be able to light it on fire or anything. It's just what I mean. It just oxygenated. That would be something cool, man. Yeah. So I don't know. From looking at that machine, it just looked like it was swirling the water, and it had like oxygen bubbles like going up into the formula from like a pump probably sucking air into it. That's bullshit. You can get one of those like pond like things that shoot all that air into it. People do it for their plants all the time. I wonder if that's like the best thing you could do. I've never heard of anyone drinking water that that they did with that. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's always dirty. You know, no one would ever drink their friggin' nasty thing water. Look at that. There's ships up there. I wonder if we can get to those ships. I think I'm gonna try. Or are they everywhere? Do you think that's possible? All right, hold on a second. I'll be back in a three. Woo. Boy, that wind is strong. Sorry about that. That door slammed. Wind just sucked it shut. It's pretty windy out there. Glad I didn't put my plants out. Although I must admit, I got my little ones out there. I should show how I do that. See, there should be a video on that I show. Like if you got the small freaking smaller clones and you want to put them outside, but you're like, oh shit, it's windy. But I want these little puppies to get accumulated to like sunlight, right? Get them going like in the next week out there. So the way to do it though is there's these clear like bins, like deep clear bins, and you can get them and you just stick them in that and you put them out there, and the wind can't really gust them like that. Now the thing that I was worried about, I was like, ping, 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 hearing things like blow over like that. I'm like, shit, man. I wonder if everything just blew over. All my plants are scattered on the ground. And guess what? I'm not going to find out until I get to the safe zone. I'm in Frenzy Fields right now in Fortnite, running to the safe zone. Some guy with a bike. That's my teammate just drove by. I think he's going to pick me up. Nope, he's not. He's going. Alright, I'm pretty close to being at the spot I need to be. Then I can check my plants. Hopefully they're not flipped. I guess if they are, I could show the aftermath. I mean, I am live. Dude, that would suck. It always happens every fucking year. This year I thought I was careful, but Yeah, they look good. They look all right. Luckily, no flips. Looks like I'll be working at night. It'll be better anyway. There won't be any sun because I pretty much slacked off all fucking day. Tomorrow I just gotta make myself a big breakfast because I'm gonna need the calories to fucking go out there and work, and I gotta just get the shit done. Today I was like, fuck it. I was in one of them fasting moods where you don't really want to eat, and then I was like, shit, man, I need the fucking fuel to fucking move dirt and shit. And I was like, all right, I'll put it off till after lunch. After lunch, I was like, shit, got to do another shit. The only thing I really need to do is move some of that manure dirt from my lettuce field, and I need that. I need to start that ASAP. I want to get my lettuce going. I want to get my peas going. I want to get them going like right now. But problem is, I also don't want to have some animal come in and eat all my shit. So I gotta get the fence up, which won't take long at all. All that's like that'll take a few hours to do everything. I'm just procrastinating so much. Ridiculous. If I just make a video on it, I might actually do it though. This is, right, schedule it. No, I'm just gonna whack it out tonight. Make a video on the aftermath of what I did. Because then I gotta get the spot for my mail that I'm gonna keep. Let's see. 36 guys left. I guess I'll turn the volume up so you guys can hear better. I didn't even know if anyone was watching. Oh yeah, look at that. We're in, I guess. Let's see what's in here. Some guy shooting at me. Ah, I tricked him. I got fucking in big trouble here. I got a bunch of punks that jumped me on this game. You can hear him. He's got a sword now. How many of them are out there? I'm the only guy left on my team. I'm just gonna fucking try to flee. I got this blade, now I'm gonna strike down. Shit. I hate using that grappling hook thing. I always fuck up using it. Alright. We're gonna end this one. I got all them videos I gotta make, put that on the recording, so I remember them for later. I won't edit that out, I guess. Might as well just keep this totally complete. So, I believe the next video should be garden update videos, first vegetable garden, and the outdoor cannabis garden with that female. And it's going to be the first training video, probably. I may or may not have the male there still. You may just see her. And me prepping just that one. Because I'll put all my love and care into that one, you know? These other ones, I might have a female in there, you know what I mean? But it ain't gonna be the special one that survived the snow and ice, you know. But like I said, I'll see if I can rehome it and take a top from it and find out exactly what it would do. You know, I mean, what its potential was. Who knows? You know, but because you do need to pheno hunt. Pheno hunting is important. But right now, I'm just breeding for the strength and it to be able to like live outside the cold and be something that can survive cold weather. A mutant breeder, breeding the mutants that survive the ice, and then once I get that all nice and good, how I like it, I'm gonna go for like the pheno and shit. But at the same time, I'm still trying to keep the potency and raise it up by recrossing it with the cultivar, the high cultivar each time, which is a highly potent one. I don't know. I did see a video on who was it? Humboldt Seeds. Someone did a video thing on it, and he had a 35. What was a 36% blueberry, 36% THC. But I don't believe he got the cut on it. Now I want to see if he could get the cut. I want the cut. But apparently he bred with it. Now I don't know what the breeding of that seed was, but I remember someone saying that they never had any potent blueberries. Well, that's apparently a potent blueberry. I don't know. But then you read it, and like the way he says when he's talking, he's like, yeah, the phenos might all be different, though. You might get different types of phenos. But it's like, oh man, I want the 35 percenter or the 36 percenter. I wonder if he still has that cut. I'd like to get that one. Hopefully they kept their clones, their breeding clones. Because just for me breeding, I know that like you gotta have the friggin' what was I gonna say? Oh shit, that guy's good. He's down. Well, got him. Nice. All right. Now, as I was saying, I don't know. It just seems like you got to keep the pheno. Just being as a breeder, I know you got to keep the pheno, man, because that pheno you may never even you can cross it and cross it. Even feminizing, it's not going to be. I don't know. The magic's not there. There's something about it. There's something about that cut that I'm also going to try to feminize the high, see if I can stabilize that a little better. But again, I'd never trusted over the actually keeping the clone alive. And why would I keep the a feminized seed of it alive when I can just keep the original clone alive? So I could feminize seed it, but some people might say, "Oh, why not just grow the feminized seed?" Well, at some point, I'm going to run out of the feminized seed. When am I going to feminize it again? That's when you get into the problems of it. When I could just keep the original alive and just keep it alive. But I do see the opportunity to do feminized seeds and maybe give them out. But the original cut is always the original cut. I mean, that's the original. You can't lose that. Hopefully, he still has 36% THC blueberry. I forget what it was called. Pancake, blueberry pancake, I think it was. And then there was the blueberry muffin. But I don't know. See, like that's something that you'd cross back. Keep crossing something like that back in with whatever your breeding was, and keep that clone alive, and just keep crossing it, because you could just keep like you have something that you could just you're gonna keep upping the THC on it. Cause it's weird that feminized cross that was two different females. I swear, like the potency is different on each one. You can tell because of how it presses. The one that presses the best is that high cultivar I call. The other ones are like different phenos of it. And I mean, I've had some that are good, but like none that are like this. The density, the shrinkage, the potency. I thought it lacked terps this entire time, but the terp lack was just my me fucking the plant up when I was just originally growing it. Now that I'm growing it and I'm like my dry and cure is on point because it wasn't really about even growing the plant. It was the dry and the cure I was fucking up for a while. And now that I figured it out, I'm like, man, the terps are there. I don't need to do anything to it. It's perfect as it is. So I end up breeding all this shit for nothing, pretty much, because my goal in breeding all this shit was I need to make that better by adding terps to it, and need a high potency male that I could cross with it that would keep the potency up, or the terp to keep the potency up while adding terpenes to it was my goal. But when it comes around to it, it was just perfect. Dried and cured properly. There is a lot you lose. You'll be amazed by it. And when it comes down to those strains where they just press out blonde men, those blonde strains, when it comes to those, man, that's everything. Let me turn it down so people can hear this if this is even on there. Yeah, it's everything, man. There's those terps, dude, that from the blonde ones, instead you lose those, you could lose them, man. Those are the ones you gotta like protect the most. Those dark terps, where it's like you press it, and it's dark. It's like you can keep those longer and easier. But like the blonde ones, like the ones that are like the light colored ones, man, when you lose those, you lost those. Like it's a pretty bad loss too. Uh, yeah, it's just disappointing, but that's why the secret is the dry and the cure. You want the dry and the cure to be on point. If the dry and the cure is not on point, then you're pretty much fucked. Because you just my advice on that is just get it out as quickly as possible. Smoke it as quickly as possible. Because you don't want to. Here's the thing, though. When you sell it, though, it'll go and it'll sell on the shelves at the dispensaries, and then it'll rot in the jars because it doesn't sell in time. And they're not herping your jars. Now, here's something. All right, hold up. I'm gonna come right back. I'm gonna use the bathroom. I'm gonna freshen myself up, and I'm gonna come back with a seriously $1 million idea for the cannabis industry right here. I just had it. This is brilliant. idea I have. Absolute brilliant. This deserves another bowl. Okay, so like I said, the problem that they had was that the jars would go bad, and no one was gonna freaking burp their jars for them. Well, I got an idea. What if someone created jar lids that were electronic jar lids, and all it does is it opens a flap, lets air out, and then it closes the flap once the air is out. And these jars can be like they can have like a battery in it, and it can like have like one of them cheap like hydrometers. You know what I'm saying? So it can tell like how much humidity is inside of it. And when the humidity gets too much, it just like opens the flap, lets the humidity out. Humidity is right, closes the flap, right? Or it could be done in a different way. You know, I mean, there's so many ways you could do it, but and that would be actually pretty perfect. You could have it pump the air out, pump the air in, vacuum it in, release the vacuum, pump more vacuum in, pressure sense it. There's another one. Uh, but the whole point is it does it itself. And then you could put super fresh shit on the shelves, and you wouldn't have to worry about someone having to burp it because it'll be just going in the fucking box doing it. You know what I mean? And then you just what? They'll have to spend a little extra on the packaging. How much would that be? I don't know. See, the whole thing would be getting the lid done cheap and manufactured cheaply. I think it could easily be done. You just have to have a cheap hydrometer meter, and then have that just go to like a circuit to where if it gets like not a temperature gauge circuit, but there must be a humidity circuit or some sort. You could do an electrical circuit and gauge it off the electrical static within the jar, and if it gets too humid, it'll go down, and if it gets too dry, it'll go up. So we'll know what to do. I don't know, maybe it's something like that, but figure that out. There you go. Perfect idea. I'm dropping. Where am I dropping with this crew right here? Some gas station next to Sloppy Shores or Slappy Shores. All right. Now I still have lodestones in my dirt. I was thinking about trying to find those lodestones. They're in there. I'll never get them out. I got more to add though, but they're so cool, man. I don't really want to add them. Two of my team members are dead in that spot. Shit. Like these lodestones are so nice, man. Just the little that they'll probably even do for my plants. It's so pointless that why waste it, you know? They look cooler than they'll actually probably do anything with. I mean, don't get me wrong, magnets do like kind of help the plants, but I mean, I don't know. I already put some in there. There's no need to overkill that. Too many is not good, and there is something to be said how people think like a magnet will recharge the soil when it's like winter and spring or something because it gets cold and it gets like warm. I don't know, something weird. But you can't use regular magnets, people, because it's covered with a poisonous material. You don't want that breaking down your soil. If it has that chrome stuff on it or something, you could like stick them in bags or something. But I don't know. That's what I'm saying. The safest thing is the lodestones. So I got the lodestones, and from the lodestones, it got me looking at magnetite. So I'm like, oh, magnetite, huh? So then once I get the magnetite, I start using that, and I notice, wow, my plants are growing like crazy. You get that on the lawn, it grows crazy. Problem is, though, it attracts like bugs and shit. Bugs love the magnetite. Like I said, if you stick a bucket of that magnetite in one spot and you look like under the dirt in that spot, it'll be full of all these different bugs and shit. There's something to do with like the magnets or something. Its magnetic ability like draws them out. I took like magnet water. There's a video of me using magnet water. I might have set it private or something. I might unprivate it. It's pretty cool. I could probably get a lot of views on it now. Magnet water, and I like spill some of it on the ground, and like I swear, like a worm just came right out of the ground. It like cast like worms out, and like this thing was like huge, kind of funny. It does something where it makes them think that like it's raining or something. So they come out of the ground or something. It's weird. And then I kind of stopped doing that shit because I was like, if you do the magnet wrong, you'll like fuck your plants up bad. So I stopped even doing it because I'll just fuck. I fucked some seeds up doing the wrong magnet side because there's a certain side of the magnet you gotta do. And like I said, I got that video on it. You can look at that guy's video. He tells you how to do it. But you do it to the wrong side, man, it'll make the seeds screwed up. They'll be stunted and all fucked up. People want to try the seed experiment. They say to use those what is it, alfalfa seeds or whatever those seeds people eat. Those sprouts people eat, and you have one with one side of the magnet you do, and you do the other one with the other side of the magnet, and you can tell the difference of the taste. The ones that are done with the correct side of the magnet that grow better actually taste better. Apparently, I've never done the experiment, but so then I figured, oh, okay, so if it'll taste better, maybe it'll do the same with marijuana. Like it'll make the plants have better terpenes or something, or taste better or whatever, right? That was the idea. But in a way, I mean, I just gotta finish this guy off. Oh, he's running. So I don't know. I don't know if it makes much of a difference with marijuana. You know why? Because if you were eating the sprouts, yes, because the sprouts just grew with that. It just had its benefits. But I mean, the plant grows pretty big, and it's got a pretty long life compared to a little like sprout that you eat. So after that point, I think like any effects it might have even actually had, if it has any, would have already been worn off. So you're like, I think the effects of the magnet are only like temporarily and limited, and too much of it will actually be too much and can do the reverse effect. And you can't use the magnets the entire life of the plant because it gets screwed up too. Like you have to let it grow without the magnet after a while. Like you may be able to use a magnet when it's young and little and it works good, but if you keep the magnets on there, after a while it gets screwed up. Now that's why I use the lodestone. Lodestone's a weak magnet. It's not a strong magnet. It's an earth magnet, and it's not anything unnatural. So it might do a slight, like whatever the recharging would be of the magnetic properties of the soil. It would increase that, and adding the magnetite dust as I have with the lodestone would also increase it even more, and different things like that. And you can spread magnetite dust on your lawns, and then that part of your lawn will grow really good. It makes the lawns grow good. If you have like soil that's very like dry, or like you're trying to get mud but you can never get mud, you add some magnetite dust to it, you can make your soil more muddy, and it'll hold more water. That's the way I do it. And another thing with mud, that's another video I gotta make. I don't even know if I said this, but just for the record of my own, when looking back on this, another one would be I feed my plants mud now. That might be even an upcoming video. I feed my plants mud. I like feeding my plants mud. And then I'm starting to think, well, that's kind of bonk because it's just like composted cow manure. So of course that's going to have like stuff in it. So feeding my plants composted cow manure water isn't really any secret. But then I was thinking like, but when you see it though, it's like dirt, man. This stuff's like there's all these mineral rocks and stuff because the way it's made, it's not just the pure cow manure. The way he does it is in this like these rocks and stuff and dirt. And it like mineralizes the soil. You can like see it like just floating in the water when you like mix it. It's all crazy. So you put a little of that in there, mix it around, water your plants with just that shit every once in a while between feedings. They love it. Problem with that is you go through your dirt and you can easily run out of cow manure. And once the rain gets it, it just washes that all out, and it's not usable anymore. Which is why I put the tarps over it, so I'm ready to plant my plants. Otherwise, it would pretty much just leach everywhere. Tarp keeps it good. So I like to save a bucket of that, just so I can top dress, or trash barrel full, I should say. Definitely need a trash barrel full. Maybe a few this year, if I can even spare that much for myself without using it all. I was tempted to get a second load of that. Go all out in the garden, because I want my vegetable garden to be pretty big too, but I already have vegetable garden soil. I just need to top dress with it a little bit. And the lettuces don't need to be that deep for like the soil. My potato bed's already pretty much in shape. I like to have that to be a little deep. Had a good potato harvest last year. I'm hoping that this year I'll get the same or better. I'm trying to expand the garden, but as it was dumped in the spot it was, all under there is going to be a whole new area of the garden, plus more in the back. Because I'm going to try to utilize the shaded areas for the lettuces, because they were just way too hot last year. It was way too hot. They need like cooler, shady areas. I couldn't believe it when I saw the bok choy. What happened was I had all these seeds and shit, so I just grabbed it and just tossed it in the fucking crushed barrel of dirt. And all these random plants start popping up. I was like, what the heck? And yeah, I got that bok choy now growing. I was supposed to plant that outside. Now I'm like, shit, man. If these grow now, man, I could have planted when it was like in the 30s at night. Now everyone's telling me, oh, you don't plant. It's too early to plant. But like the accidents I've had, those plants grew. Like the seeds grew. I wish I planted my vegetable garden earlier because I could have got away planting it in the 30s. I think that's a myth. People when people say you can't plant early because I don't know. I got radishes growing, no, but the radishes are huge. How did they grow in such cold weather? Then I start thinking, okay, maybe I'll take those seeds. Shit, these guys are gonna kill me. Ah, they got me. Damn, bunch of killers. So I'm like, all right, maybe I'll just take those seeds then. And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe that's a normal thing for radishes to grow that temperature. Either way, I don't know. I kind of want to eat them, but then I might just let them go to seed, and then they'll seed, and then I can have those grow like the second harvest or something, right? And I can plant more for now, right? Because you can do a bunch of harvests of radishes and stuff. I gotta get my carrots in the ground, man. Dude, I'm gonna go all out in nutrition and try to get as much nutrition I can get with all these garden shits. But I gotta get the mineralization in the soil right. I think I've got it good though, because the ground's pretty fertile and it hasn't been used in a long time. Because we're talking vegetable garden spot is not the cannabis area. Vegetable garden spot, that's an area that was always made when this house was built. It was made for a vegetable garden, but it was never upkept. And now just adding the soil on that soil actually works. You know what I mean? But technically, I could just use that soil. You know? I don't know. And then underwater is a spring under me. I got spring water spring under me. My neighbors have like well water, like they made their own well, and it can be done like where I am, and you can get like spring, like awesome spring water. So I kind of like I'm tempted to do it. It's kind of expensive, 10K to do it, but man, that would be kind of cool having my own water up here. Then I would be kind of like a little more independent. Problem is though, I don't know if I'm gonna like the water. I'm very picky on my water. So it would suck spending all that money and it's like a water that I don't like. My body rejects or something, you know? You don't know. I don't know. And I start looking at granite and I don't want irradiated water. I don't know. I have to check the radiation levels. Like, just because they say it's safe doesn't mean anything. Because in granite, you get like radiation, right? So if this is down way below the granite, under all that pressure, apparently, I'm told, all this water spring is there, then I don't know. That's right where the shit is. I wonder how healthy that actually is. I don't know. Wow, that guy's looking up at those ships too. I wonder what is up there. There's like a Star Wars ships up in the sky, but it looks low enough that you could get to it. You just have to have a shitload of building material to go right up to the top. kind of want to try, but I keep forgetting each match I get into. Oh man! All right. Just take a sip on this water, and then last puff. I'm gonna end this one. And I'm gonna get to work, I guess. Gotta get the plants out of the sunset. You never want them to see sunset. The sunset light. That's where you get a lot of the I don't know what you would call it, the reds, right? The reds. So a lot of the reds can trigger hit the flower too early, right? You don't want it to. It can understand the sunset, so you always want to take them out of the light when it's the daytime. If you're gonna put them back under your artificial light. But it's good to see that they survived the climatation. The humidity finds problems. Like humidity is not a problem for them, and I don't know. We'll have to see in the next few days what the light did to it. If I have any light damage, I'll know in a few days. And if I do have any light damage, it's just gonna have to grow through it. You know what I mean? Those leaves will just be screwed up. I'll just have to pull them. I don't think I did because they were partly in shade. I made sure they were partly in shade. So that's how I like to do it. You let a little bit of the plant section be exposed to the sun, and everything else is in a shade. You know what I mean? So it's experiencing it, all over the plant. And you kind of have to move it around the whole day, making sure, like, because the sun moves too. So you know what I mean? You gotta watch out. It might be in a safe position now, but in like a few hours, that sun moves. Now it's going to beating down on it. So you always gotta watch out. Then you gotta watch out your water. Like my plants were getting a little dry, but um, they were also wet for a while. You know what I mean? So it's good to let them be dry for a little bit. They're new, they're young. It was their first time experiencing a transplant, so they're getting adjusted to the soil for the first time from the cubes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you let you know what I mean. You don't want the roots to dry out. That's why you gotta watch out with the weather. Shit could happen. But I thought it originally was like shit. Maybe I shouldn't have used all the compost, like pure compost form. But that so far so good. I don't know. They're going in the compost anyway, so I could put them outside. They're just all compost. I don't mix nothing with it because then I might even go over like the soil, finer look at it. It's a weird blend of the compost manure and the actual soil itself. Uh, he explained to me how it's done. And he like gets his cow shit and he puts it in like this quarry area with all these like stones and rocks and stuff, and he just piles it up with all these like rocks and stones and um, other dirt from the farm and stuff like that on top, and then he just keeps tilling that, and he tills it, and it just stays, and he just keeps doing that in different spots, and then when he needs it, he just digs it up. Like this is, he says it's always a year or more in compost. He says most people get definitely more than a year, but he could do it in under a year. He said, and So then he gets the stuff and he sifts it out. You know what I mean? Sifts the rocks out of it, all of the minerals. But you get like little bits of them. It leaves like the little bits of the mineralization of all the rocks and stuff. It's so cool. Like if you look at it, it's like you'll see them. They're everywhere. And then once the soil breaks down and the compost breaks down, and it goes away kind of over time. You'll see what the material is. It's kind of like this like dirt that's got a lot of like little rocks and mineral like rocks in it. It's like really cool shit. It's really nice stuff. Perfect for freaking making your freaking soil. And when you think about it, it's just so simple. Like cows, like cow farm. Like that's how great cows are. They can just like shit and make like dirt and shit. Most amazing stuff. Yeah. Now hopefully I can remember to put this up. Yellowstone shit. There's some Yellowstone videos I'll put up. I'm not gonna put any spoiler alerts on this one, but I got some Yellowstone videos I want to like show. Like man, this I just gotta get this shit organized so I can do a live on all this shit. It's kind of interesting, just like the animals and stuff, and like idiots doing shit around bison and stuff, and it's so funny. No one gets hurt, but just and I don't know if anyone's seen like those weird looking Sasquatch looking things around Yellowstone. Those videos are always amusing. You see them on the trail cams. They could just be a guy in like a fur suit. You know what I mean? He knows the trail cam's there, so he's just like fucking with people. Could be. It would be a funny prank to do if there's like an official Yellowstone camera that's there in the winter, and like you know about it, so you just like slosh around in front of it. They showed one that was like a paranormal one. It was like these weird things, people looking things around like where a geyser was, and then the geyser goes off, and like the things like kind of scatter. But I'm like, holy crap, those were probably people, and they probably got seriously burned. Like there was no proof that they were actually Sasquatch, but like they were saying like, but their only proof that they were Sasquatch was no one in their right mind would go to a geyser. And, but I'm saying drunk idiots would. You know how stupid people are. You know what I mean? And they were saying, oh, there were animals around them that didn't care they were there. And it's like, yeah, the animals in Yellowstone really don't like care. You could get killed so easy because they're like, hey, fuck you, and they'll come after you. You get close. They're not gonna like see you and run like the ones around where I am. I'll say that if anyone wants to go on a vacation and have it be the best vacation and stay in the U.S., I don't know. Some might think Hawaii, some might think all these other places, Florida. Nope, Yellowstone. Trust me, Yellowstone. And stay on the East Gate. I think it's East Gate or the West Gate. One of them. Where a nice old little town is, and you can like chill there. And it's cheap hotel stay, and it's like minutes from like the gate into the Yellowstone. You can get a park thing and go right in when you want. Perfect. Best vacation ever. I'm telling you. Oh yeah. And you know what? Like I'm allergic to milk now, but I was eating it then and fucked my stomach back then. I didn't know. But damn, that fucking soft serve ice cream and the waffle cone that you can get at the site of the big one, the what is it, Old Yeller or something, or the Geyser. What is that fucking geyser called? That fucking geyser, dude. The main big one that people go to see. Oh yeah, dude. That shit's fucking delicious, man. Absolutely delicious. And then you gotta go to the Teton Valley and fucking see Jackson Hole and all that shit. Probably the best shit ever. You have to drive around that whole area. I wonder if they're like 420 friendly. I don't know. All I know is when I went, like I didn't do any 420. You're just high on the air, man. Like, there's just so much oxygen. You just feel like high. You don't have to do it. Animals everywhere. Of course, you can have the cocktails and shit, drinks, beers. That's always nice. I'll tell you, the local food can absolutely suck, but you're not really there for it. It's kind of a like how terrible this restaurant was that I went like outside of Yellowstone. It was so memorable that I kind of like it. I remember having like a bison steak, and I was like, man, I was up. I wasn't upset, but I was like, wow. I was like, this could have been the best steak in the world, but they over seasoned it. Like they put so much black pepper, salt, and all this other bullshit on it that you couldn't taste the meat. Like, but what I wanted was I wanted to taste the bison. But they get bison so much there that like apparently they like to flavor it up. But me though, I want to taste the bison. You know what I mean? I don't want it all flavored up. But oh man, it was like a hole in the wall. Like oh, it was crazy, absolutely crazy. I would say the homes there looked like they were cheap back then, and I really wanted to buy a home there, like in that little town. And then I look like online and shit, and it's like I don't know, it looks different, and they want to sell you expensive shit. I'm like, fuck that, dude. When I was there, people were living in like a house that was just like plywood on like a cube, and they have a door in the cube, maybe a window on the end with like a fireplace inside. That was with like people were living in cubes like that. I was like, I want a cube. Like, how do I get a cube? I don't know how you get a fucking cube in that fucking area. They want to sell me a fucking $1 million fucking home or like a ridiculously expensive home. It's like, what the fuck is this? I went there. I've spent like a long time there, and I'm like, this. You can get like little homes that like shouldn't be like this, but apparently, I don't know. You gotta go there and look for them. I guess would be sweet because you hear about everyone moving to fucking Yellowstone now. All the friggin' billionaires that screwed up the country. Now they all want to live there because it's like you can live off the land with the farmlands and shit. Apparently, are good grazing land and shit. Forget about it. Wild horses. Yeah, that shit's nice. That's right up there with Montana, man. Wild horses. Can't get all that other shit in the city. Won't see that shit in the city. Oh, they all want out now. I tell you, it's a better way of life getting out of those fucking cities. Definitely, definitely is. Oh, now they want these fucking. I want to do a story on this one if I can ever remember to do it. The fucking Saudi Arabian or UAE government, one of them, who's ever building that super like structure that they think people are gonna live in it, and it like spans like a continent or something like that. The most ridiculous building you'd ever meet. Someone criticized it, and now they're like being punished by like prison or some crazy sentence. I'm like that's ridiculous stuff, but it's like it's not possible. Like there's like this like dude Thunderfoot that did a video on that and like busted how it's like they're gonna try to do it and they're gonna fail at it. Like it's ridiculous to even say that they would be able to do it. But you can't question anything because then you're like a heretic there or some shit. That's crazy. That's a funny one. It'll be interesting to see what they do. My guess is they're gonna try building it, and they're gonna realize it's an epic failure, and then they're gonna stop work on the additional part and try to like keep whatever part they made and make that into like something. And it might be something really big, but it's not gonna be what they said it was. You know, that's the only option it would be. Or it's just gonna be like how China sometimes does it. They'll like spend all this money in building an entire city, and then not have anyone go in it. They just wanted a city just in case they needed it. I don't know. They might just abandon it and say, screw it. We have an abandoned fucking structure. Crazy though. What a waste of resources. Apparently though, you say that and you get like arrested there. So insane. You're almost trying to do a service to the government and say, look, you're gonna waste all this money on this. Like big waste of money. I understand they want to build something. Good, awesome. But it's way too big. You know what I mean? Oh man, you gotta see his video on it. It's just like it just shows how impossible it's gonna be for them to do. I don't know. I don't know if they're just saying it to get money and they're gonna launder it all, and it's like, we failed at doing it, and then no one says anything about where the money went. Who knows, man? I don't know. That's ridiculous, dude. That's the problem with the cities, though. At some point, they all become outdated and they start falling apart, becoming decrepit. I mean, the same problem happened with New York. It would cost them so much money to update and fix everything that needed to be fixed to like get it to be like brand new stuff. Because it's like, dude, all that shit's already built. Like you can't just tear down a city and rebuild a city. You have to do it a little bit by bit. But it would take a long time to do it. Whereas if you just built an entire city, it would like save you a lot of time. You get it done quicker. And you'd have everything where you need it. You know what I mean? Which is why I don't know if the solution is to fix New York. I don't think New York can be fixed. I think New York City. I think they might need to just build another city. Hopefully, I mean, I would hate to see a lot of New York's like wildlife lands get used up, but if they built a city and they made it like nice with new shit, and then like you take some population densities there and kind of like so it's not as crowded type of thing, and then maybe you could fix New York up a little better because there'd be a lot of vacancies. I mean, that's a problem, but you don't want to like kill the economy there. So if you had another city where people could still work and do shit, and then you could fix that one up, that's like the only thing I can see possible. There has to be a second city they can work at to keep the economy going, so that they can fix things up slowly there, and people can still live there. It's just like you know what I mean. At some point, like what do? You can't kick someone out of their apartment and say we have to fix the apartment. So they just become like older and older and older and outdated and all that, and then it's crazy. You could make I don't know. I wonder how hard it would be to build a city again for people. I don't think they could do it. Maybe they can. I question the work ethic of the youth to even be able to do it. Like those people that did that, they walked on steel girders, and they were like, they didn't have health insurance. I don't think they did, or insurance really. They just were like walking on them buildings and building the structures and all that of all these buildings in New York. Like, God, could they even do it? They can't do fucking those Washington monuments anymore. Those are too big for them to even do. There's like a lot of shit that people can't do anymore. I don't even know if they could do it. How would they even do it? Have they built skyscrapers? I've seen them use cranes to do it. I have seen them do it, so they can do it. I don't know. Maybe it would be better. You never know. Then you could have these futuristic like bullshit, but I wouldn't even think that'd probably be a waste of money. But you could never change New York into that because it's already built. But like the thing that Dubai or they want, like this big futuristic thing, like I don't know, that's not really possible there. It's already built. You have to rebuild somewhere else. I don't know. Everywhere already has shit. Like where would you build? Further in, like where other shit is? I don't know. Huh. Hmm. There's a lot of land different places, and then you go to the missing 411, and you're like, oh, why aren't there people living there? And you notice like a lot of people go missing in these areas. That's probably attuned to like wildlife and all these other things, crazy people in the woods. But then it's like some of them were like, wow, this person just disappeared and then like reappeared like 10 miles away on like a cliff that's like in, you couldn't get to it, you couldn't walk there, and then they don't know how they got there. They say like these monkey men came and fed me and shit, and you're on this mountain. That's a true story. I'd love to dig into that one. Again, I'm gonna have to make a whole fucking ordeal of this thing. Just just dive into it. I have to get a whole little disclaimer made in the beginning saying, oh, this is commentary. Commentary is protected under this fucking clause of that, and be able to do some commentary videos of different things I come across. So, well, I'm gonna end this one here. I'm gonna get some drinks and get out there and do some work, things like that. So, we'll end this one here.